Very few. I know we're the only Catholic school in this state that has it, but there's very few Catholic high schools in the country that have an ag program, and we'd like to make ours, very, very good. And we think it'll attract additional students to BA. But it's a great industry, lots of ways to make a living in agriculture, and so Barron's brought a couple students along. We've got Pat DeGrood, who's a BA board member and is on the ag board. They're going to talk about what are we doing and why we're doing it and how it's going to work.
All right, that's a great way to set the stage. We're going to get an opening market report, and then we're going to come back and talk about the ag program at Faribault Bethlehem Academy that just started this year. Continues right after this.
Brown's Family Automotive. Everything is based on Brown family values. Like
Pat's daughter was in the FFA program
during the Jeep celebration
at Medford.
Lisa 2018
She graduated last year, but had to drive to Medford to be part of their
18 Dodge
FFA
Charger
program.
GT. Some of these ones starting at $290.
Most kids are
Harry Brown's Family Automotive in Faribault. Online at harrybrowns.com. 36-month leases, 10,000 miles per year. Compass 2341 due at signing plus tax title license. Charger 3000. OAC must be in stock. See dealer for details. Offers end 10/31/17.
All right, AM Minnesota today. We're talking about Jerry walked to the door, and I said, Jerry, you'd be the perfect guy to host today's show. We're talking about ag, and Jerry looked at me with toothpicks in his eyes and said, we were up at 3 o'clock this morning jumping on a plane. So that's why he's not here, and that's why I'm here hosting AM Minnesota today, because obviously he would be the man to do this. But is it Barrent?
Correct, Barrent.
Barrent Halverson, and of course you're the son of Kim Halverson.
Yes.
The legendary Kim Halverson.
If that's what you'd like to say.
I mean, in these parts, with the Chamber Agribusiness Committee, I know she was, president of the Chamber too at one time, right?
Yep.
If I remember right?
Yep.
So how long have you been teaching, Barrett?
I'm teaching at BA for 4 years. This is my 4th year now.
So you teach something other than ag?
Yep. So I started out teaching industrial arts. I've been building the industrial arts program for the last 4 years with some outstanding numbers coming in this year, and then this year I just started the ag program.
So is this your idea? Was it Chuck's idea? Whose idea was this?
I think kind of combined. We talked about it together, and so kind of came to Chuck one day and said, hey, I went to the University of Minnesota and graduated with my ag degree, and he said, let's go ahead and look into it and go ahead and go with it. So
how's the class been going?
It's going awesome. We got 18 kids enrolled in the class. Kids are loving it. So I think it's going really good.
Are they all ag people that are in the class?
As far as
they live on farms?
No, we have kids from town, all different realms where they come from. There are a few that are on the farm. I would say less than a handful that actually come from the farm. So it's a good dynamic, in the class.
Because there are lots of different careers in agriculture, not direct production, right?
Yep, and that's exactly what we're talking about. So how can agriculture, how it affects everybody in all the realms, whether you want to go into whatever career you want to go into, it's going to affect you in some way.
You want to introduce us to the guys to your right?
Yes, to the right of me I got Alec LeCan, and then to Alec's right I got Luke Donkers.
Luke, of course, is a lineman on the BA Cardinal football team. Are you on the football team, Alec?
I am, yes.
And you are a lineman too?
Yep, I am a lineman.
Yeah. That's what I would guess. So you guys have a big playoff game here.
Oh yeah.
Coming up. You take on a team that you lost to the first game of the year, right?
Yep.
6-0, I think, was the score.
Yeah.
Well, your defense is unbelievable. Not yours well, maybe yours individually too, but I mean the whole team. I mean, you're only giving up like 8 points a game. Did you know that?
Yeah. Yep.
8 points a game.
Yep. Our defense is doing really good this year.
No, that's phenomenal. So why did you take this ag class? Forget the teachers here. Forget that Mr. Briscoe's here. They're not here. Why did you take the class?
Since I live on a farm, and I seen that I could take an agricultural class, I thought it'd be fun to see what else I could learn.
Is this something you want to do for a career?
Yep. Probably after college I'll be farming. I'll probably go to college for agricultural business and management.
Awesome. Luke, how about you? I know you're on a farm too, right?
That would be my dad's uncles that run the farm, but I've been helping out there since I've been young age, so it's been in my life pretty much. And I guess I took this class just wanting to see what careers and opportunities needs and learn more about it to see what I want to go into for a future job.
Were you on? There's isn't there a dairy judging team that went to nationals or something?
No, I was not on that.
Oh, okay. But wasn't there guys on your team that were on that?
I'm not on the team, but like I think there were some.
No, I meant the football team.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. I must have them confused with other people. So you took the class because you want to be a farmer someday too?
Something in the agricultural part of it.
You just don't know what yet?
Yeah. Kind of exploring that.
What's your favorite class other than this ag class?
Probably the industrial arts, woodworking and that.
Wow, Barrett.
Yep.
2 for 2.
Yep. I got him some way.
So what do you do in industrial arts? We did all kinds of stuff, welding and constructing things. And
I've been doing a bunch of intarsia projects, just finding things to do.
Because correct me if I'm wrong, Barrett, it's hard to find good welders these days.
Yes, yep. And so part of the ag class, once we get to the unit, is the ag power and technology. And within that portion is where we would talk about welding and construction, things along those, electrician, plumbing. We talk about that within the ag class, so kids would have the opportunity to try out each of those trades. And then part of the class actually would be, with part of our 5-year plan would be getting the kids out into some sort of internship opportunities with these, within these different businesses.
Luke, there are tons of different, well, there's hogs, there's dairy, there's sheep. You could go down the.
Don't forget about turkey.
That was going to be on my list.
Oh.
It's huge here, but I'm just saying there's lots of different areas in agriculture. So what do you cover in this class? You cover them all, or what?
Well, so far we've covered on like the basic needs on like how back then and how they traded and stuff to now how we are how we live today, and then we've also looked into the career opportunities. We did a unit on that, just showing what was out there, more than just farming. There's the lumber part of it, and there's your animal part of it, more than just what most people think about agriculture, and that's just farming and crops and that. And then we've also we gave a speech this last unit on like what you found interesting in agriculture and like what you thought it meant to you, and then we looked it up, and then we gave like a 2 to 3 minute speech on it.
Barron, how huge is agriculture in our economy here locally?
Right now, just in Faribault, I mean it's huge. It affects everybody, and I mean, Gordy, when you eat at night or during the day, you got to be thinking about a farmer and think a farmer, because I mean they're the ones who are putting food on our table. So just in Faribault, it's really a big part of our industry.
So, Pat, you're on the board.
Yep, you bet.
The ag board.
Yep,
and the school board?
Yeah, and the school board as well.
So when they came up with this idea, you obviously thought it was a godsend, because you were sending your kids elsewhere for ag, right?
Yep, our oldest daughter, she ended up was taking some classes down in Medford through the FFA program down there as well, and I knew she would have been able to benefit from a class like this. In the 90s, I benefited from a class. I took an ag program class and continued in the farming. So this is what we've been looking for, and this is a class that's going to help a lot of students. Not so much just looking at an ag, but looking at just a general career, whether it be any of the hands-on type careers. That's what we're looking to get these kids.
Let's be honest, Pat. We need more people going into production agriculture.
Oh, absolutely. And production agriculture and all the things that support production agriculture is where we're really starting to see the need. When you look at the statistics and nationally, I mean, the people who are on the grounds doing the work, that trades people, they're just not there with the ability to do it. And so that's we're hoping to give these kids a little bit of a flavor of what's out there, and when they get done with high school, they can head off and find something that they can really get a driving force headed right out of high school right into college.
So you were a BA grad?
Correct.
What ag class did you take?
I actually took it to Faribault High School at the time it was offered.
Oh, okay. What year was that, if you don't mind my asking?
You're aging me here now, Gordy.
That's okay. I'm much older than you, I'm sure.
How about if I say I took it in the late 80s?
Well, there you go. See, I got a decade on you, fella. Late 80s. I can't remember when they dropped their ag program, but it wasn't long after I got here in '87, I know.
Yeah, it had been in the early 90s.
Okay, it was the early 90s. So it's something, obviously, Barrett, that you thought that would take off. That's why you approached Chuck and said, hey, what do you think about doing this?
Yeah, I mean, I was approached by Brianna DeGrood, Pat's daughter, and she came into my class. I think it was the first day teaching. So the first time I had a real teaching job, Brianna DeGrood walks in and says, are you going to start an egg program? And I was thinking to myself, man, I just got to focus on teaching my class right now. I'm not going to start a program at this point. But then kind of working into it, I really wanted to get an egg program within the Faribault community, since we haven't had one in such a long time. You know, I know there's people that are there to support it, and that's really what we need, is a bunch of support to keep this program going.
So what are some of the other things you're going to touch on in this class, or are you touching on the financial aspect of agriculture?
Yep, well, we touch on everything. So both the ag education, so what is within agriculture, the communicating today, so how do you communicate with others, just to get kids prepared for jobs, whether it's in the ag career or not. We still want to get them prepared for some sort of job opportunity, or to how to present themselves in a formal way. From there we go to the science aspect, both animal science and plant science. That'll be the next unit we're covering. There will be some soil science in there as well. Natural resource management, and then the ag power and technology. So again, those trades jobs, electrician, carpentry, plumbing, welding. So we're really going to touch on all the different aspects, and then how it relates to farming, and I shouldn't just say farming, but the ag industry. And then our last unit is just preparing them for the future. What is the future for them? What does the future hold for them? So that's where they would start looking at different colleges, or if they're not looking at a college, then it might be some sort of trade school, you know, because I really want to push furthering their education. I know not all kids are set out for a four-year college, and that's fine. We need more kids in the trade industry. I mean, that is an industry that is dying right now, so we want to make sure that we're preparing more kids to take over some of those jobs that are opening up.
So you're working at all with South Central College?
A little bit. I think, Chuck, you've been talking with South Central, so I don't know if you want to touch on that. I have been working with Brad Slusher from South Central College, and he has been helping us out a lot with that. He's the head of the ag department there, so he's out of the Mankato campus. Brad has helped us find he helped us find the CASE curriculum that I'm teaching. The CASE curriculum is a national curriculum.
Is this like Case IH case?
Nope. CASE stands for Curriculum for Agricultural Science Education. Close. So it is close, but yep, so it's a curriculum that is all set up for me. All they want you to focus on is teaching. So I don't have to come up with the standards. It's all set up for me. We actually took a 2-week class over the summer, so while all the kids were off on summer break, I was taking this CASE class, curriculum class, in which we actually learned about everything that I'm teaching the kids. So I went through these exact same lessons that they're going through, so that way I knew how to best teach it to the kids and cover the material.
Can I take your class 7 through 12?
Yep, it is offered in middle school for a quarter in middle school, so that way the way we have it set up is for 1 quarter for 7th grade, they're taking industrial arts, and then the next quarter for 7th grade you're going to be taking the ag class. Same with 8th grade, first quarter is going to be industrial arts, and then second quarter is going to be the ag class. This year, as far as high school goes, they're able to take it for a full semester, and they're really liking it.
So Luke, you're a senior, right, Luke?
Correct.
What are your future plans?
I'm not really sure yet, but looking into the agriculture side, maybe farm management or agronomy.
You're gonna play football somewhere?
No,
For sure?
I don't think I'm gonna play any sports in college.
Wow, Luke. That might be able to get you a little scholarship money, you know.
Maybe, but I just don't see it happening. Because most of the schools that recruit, like St. Thomas or Augsburg and that, don't have an agricultural major.
Oh,
They
so
don't
you're
have
looking
that.
at maybe South Central or something like
Something
that?
like that. Maybe a small school.
Alec, how about you? What are your future plans?
I'll probably go for farming. So I've looked at like North Dakota State University for their ag programs.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm kind of thinking of a 2-year college, just that way I can get the degree in doing that and then probably start farming as soon as I can.
You want to do some sports in college?
No, probably not.
That's out the window too. How do you like that? Anyway, AM Minnesota today, Dr. Briscoe's with us. We've got Bernd Halverson with us. We got Alec, Luke, and Pat with us as well today. And I don't know if you wanted to add anything here, Dr. Briscoe, but...
Well, again, this is an example of how we can get creative in a small school. I've pushed technical education my whole career. Not everybody wants to hear that as parents, and there's nothing wrong with going to St. Olaf or Mankato or whatever, but
it's not
my dad was a Dunwoody grad. I have 2 sons who are Dunwoody grads. They're both gainfully employed. So I think it's just, and as Barron said, the world right now desperately needs people willing to work in the trades. You can make a great living at it, and so we encourage kids to keep your horizon open and don't just say I'm going to college. Well, what are you going to do there? Because, you know, as a parent, you'd like your children to not only graduate but get a job so they're not, 40 years old still living down in your basement. So so just think that through. But again, this is a great program. It's a tribute to Barrett and Pat and the VA board to support us. And so if you're interested at all, come up and take a look. Come up to Spooktacular and get some candy, and then come up to the open house on November 8th.
Yeah. So Barrett, did you pick Pat's brain over here? Because he'd been in this class way back in the late 80s.
Yeah, Pat's come to me with a lot of ideas, and so he's always got ideas for me. So, but I do want to say a big thank you to Cargill, Land O'Lakes, and Genesis. They have helped us out tremendously financially. So they are doing great. Also, they both financially and then workers in that industry and in that career are able to help us out if we have kids that are looking for internship opportunities, they're willing to take on some of those students. So yeah.
So who's the lovely lady that just popped in the studio?
So actually we have Abby Stratman just walked in. She had NHS. She's part of National Honor Society. So she had that this morning. So I told her to come on down after she got done. She was one of the first girls to sign up for the class, and so it'd be awesome for her to, if she's got anything.
Yeah, let's get a lady's perspective on this.
I think it's a really interesting class because it's a lot of hands-on work instead of just reading out of a textbook, so you get to learn a lot more compared to other classes. So I just think it's a really fun class to take.
So you immediately, when you heard there was an ag class, your eyes lit up like a Christmas tree and you said, I'm taking this, right?
Pretty much, yep.
Is this what you want to do in the future in terms of a career, do you know?
I'm kind of debating doing something with business or maybe being an agronomist, so we'll see.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, Barrett's not here. Is the class fun?
Yes, the class is very fun.
I mean, you don't necessarily have to be into agriculture to have fun in this class, right?
No, you get to do like lots of different activities. Like we learned about how to like present yourself well and like to give speeches and how to like act when you're in a job interview. So it's not just an agricultural class. You like learn a lot of life lessons, which I think is really interesting and what more classes should be like.
Yeah, and they need those communication skills, Barrett, when they go to the bank and look for the loan, right?
Exactly. So again, like I said, preparing kids for the future is really what we're focusing on. Is whether they choose a career in agriculture, another thing I want them to understand is they're going to be presented in some way with agriculture, whatever career choice they have. Agriculture is going to find them in some way. So.
Have you a lot of girls in the class, or
There's 3 girls.
That'll grow though, right?
Yep, I hope it does.
She's going to tell her friends.
Yep.
They're going to tell their friends. That's going to grow.
Yep, and especially with having it as a middle school class where it's a required class. I'm hoping, to hook them in middle school so that way they continue on through high school.
So is industrial arts part of the ag too?
No, it's not. So the ag.
You don't do any welding in the ag class, for example.
Not at this point. That is actually part of our 5-year plan. So we're hoping that ag power and technology would be a part of the ag class. So if they wanted to take an ag power and technology, that's where we would probably touch on that welding aspect. Small engines maybe. Things like along that nature is where we would touch on that. So
18 kids in your class.
Yep.
3 girls.
Yep.
You feel overwhelmed, or you get along with the guys real well, or what?
I mean, yeah, there's only 3 girls, but the class still runs smooth. It doesn't feel like it's meant for boys. Like, I enjoy the class, and I know the other 2 girls like to come to class every day, so yeah.
Well, that's cool. Times have changed, haven't they?
Yes, yep.
They certainly have. So, anything else you wanted to add, Abby, before I pass it on to some other folks?
I think I'm good.
You're good?
Yep.
What did you do at NHS?
We just had the induction ceremony today.
That's National Honor Society.
Yes.
So obviously you're a very good student.
Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations for that. Luke, your favorite part of this ag class is what?
It was probably learning about right in the beginning we learned about how our world is going so far today, from like how they're trading, how people survive, and like all the basic needs that you need today to survive.
We got to feed all those people.
Yep.
Right? What was your favorite part of the class?
My favorite part of the class would have to be all the different careers in agriculture that I could go into. It's not just farming, if you want to go into like banking, you can help farmers with loans and tons of other stuff that has to do with agriculture.
Yeah, or be an agronomist like Abby over here.
Yep.
All right. Barrett?
Yeah.
People want more information about your class, I'm sure they can just give you a call and you can give them the whole...
Yep. They can just call Bethlehem Academy, give them a call, and they'll transfer you through to me, or they'll also give you my email address.
If I'm going to an area school that does not have this, can I...
Yep. It is open to public and private school students as well as homeschool students. So, like I said, just give us a call, let us know you're interested, and come in for a tour of our awesome school and see what you think.
Yeah, what a great idea.
Yep.
Been a long time coming, to be honest. Long overdue. That concludes today's edition of AM Minnesota. By the way, on Monday, Superintendent of the Canyon Wanamingo Schools, Jeff Pest, is with us. We talk about their referendum request. You're in tune to KDHL AM, Faribault, Minnesota.